Hello everyone. Okay, so this week I would like to review the process to install our rattle again. Maybe some of your students are using Macintosh. I think it's some kind of problem to install rattle in microsystem. So please, if you cannot install rattle in your Mac systems, so please use the computer on campus if it's possible. So I will postpone the homework for 1 week. Okay, so you may install the rattle packages by install package and then library it. When you install and library the rattle, so you may execute rattle function. You may install required package, this one, rgtk2. You may install these required packages. So when you're done for installation, please don't forget to library this package. And then you may install another required packages. So hopefully you can get your rattle ready for this week. Okay, so when you install and library all the required packages, so you may get your rattle ready for you. So let's execute the rattle function, which is line 11. Okay, so please always have your rattle windows up from your RStudio, because some error message in rattle will show on the console in RStudio. So you may check the error message on console in rattle or in RStudio. So don't forget to have your RStudio ready. So you may enlarge your rattles. So today I would like to use the package, the data set. So I have provided for this week, because last week you made to add the headers for each columns. So today I will give you the headers. So you may use this data set for the rest, the function for our rattle, which you don't have to do any programming. Okay, so there are two ways to import the files you have. You may import the file from the source file, or you may import the data from RStudio by import dataset. Okay, so let me try how to import the files data which you have. Okay, so when you on the data tab, you may see there is a file name here. You have to choose. Okay, so my document, the data set which I provide, is in my USB driver here. So the data set CSV file is R bank names. So please open this CSV file. Okay, so when you choose this CSV file, so don't forget to execute. So you may get your file, get your data set in rattle. So there are 1,000 observations for this data set, as you know. They also have 20 input variables and also has a target variable which called credit risk. It's the credit for your client, which is the 23rd variables, this one. So this one is our target. Okay, so you guys may know all the variables from last week. So if you don't know the meaning for each variable, please don't forget to go to the UCI dataset to find this dataset. Okay, UCI dataset. Okay, so don't forget to find the dataset here. Okay, so let us go back to rattles. Since we have imported the dataset to our rattles, so you may see the variable's name. The first one is checking account, duration, credit history, purpose, credit amount, saving account, and so on. Also, they provide the customer's age, the housing, the job. So for today's class, I will let you know how to use the explore your data. So for the last week, we used the summary, right, to check the statistic for our data set. Okay, so since we have imported the data set, we have to choose this Explore tab here to find the summary for the data set. Okay, so when you're done for your choice, so don't forget to execute this function. So it may take some time to have the summary result for the data set. Okay, so don't forget, always check when there is a pop-up window. So you always say yes. So it will install the required package for you. So right now, the rattle is install the required packages for summary. Okay, so the process is done. So the result for summary should be shown on rattle. Here's the result for the summary of the data set. So you may see for the checking account, the first one variables, they have 4 labels, which is A11, A12, A13, A14. So you guys know the meaning for each labels. Okay, so you can see here are labels, category, variables. Also, they have the summary format for you for each variables. Okay, so you also can have some show message. This show message here. So uncheck the summary and check the show message. What is show message? It will tell you is there any missing value for this data set. They also have to install some packages for you. So you may see here there's no missing value here. Okay, so for the data explosion, you may use the distribution to see the data in a diagram. Maybe last time you have tried this one, so let me show it again. The first things we have used is the pairs. So you may see what is the pairs with the credit amount and the age. They also group by the credit risk. Okay, so I would like to show is any relation between the credit amount with age. Okay, so when you down every the choice, so you may execute the functions. Okay, so here you may see the result here. It tells you some information from this diagram. Since this diagram is a pairs between credit amount and age, so you may see here is a credit amount in XS. So for the age is the Y-axis. So this diagram is the pairs for age and credit amount. So how many points in this diagram? So there are 1,000 points in this diagram. In this diagram, it also tells you the correlation between age and credit amount. So since it's negative, because correlation is minus, but it's close to 0, so the credit amount is not related to the age. It means if the correlation is positive, it means when you get older, so your credit amount should be higher. So it's positive correlation. So what about negative correlation? Negative correlation, it means when your age is going older, it's become older, so your credit amount is become less. So it's negative correlations. the correlation is always between negative and -1 to 1. So when the correlation is 0, so there is no relationship between these two variables. If the correlation is more than 0.6, more than 0.6 point, higher than 0.6, is positive correlation. If it's less than -0.6, is negative correlation. From this diagram, you may see the distribution for these two variables because it's grouped by credit risk. Since we know the credit risk 1 is the client with the good credit. If the credit risk is 2, it means bad credit. So here you may see the distribution for the good credit is much higher than the bad credit. Okay, so please try the different variables to see their pairs. You also can show all the numericals. Here is numericals. Here are category variables. So there are two kinds of variables. One is numericals variables. The other are category variables. So you may see all the numericals variables to see the pairs. Okay, so when you dump the selections, you re-execute the function again. It may take some time because it's lots of data to execute. So you may see the result on the plot here. Okay, since this diagram is too small, you may zoom in, zoom out your diagram. Okay, so here is the pairs distribution for each numericals variables. So you may see the correlation between each variable. Okay, so since here you may see the credit here, the credit amount against the duration. The correlation is almost 0.6. So it means it's positive correlation. It means when you have the business with the company, so the credit amount will be higher. So for these two variables, you can get this result. So what else? So rest of the correlation is almost close to 0. So there are no exactly relationship between two variables except credit amount and duration. Okay, so it's your turn to show the pairs function for each numericals variables.